James chapter 1 says that when you persevere, you build faith. Because oftentimes God will not meet you at that moment. Because God doesn't want to meet you at the moment of crisis at that altar call, because he doesn't want to build a moment where you have to get to the same place again. So he will build a history of digging you out at 1 a.m. in the morning when you get on your face in your bedroom way more than he'll meet you when you drive somewhere and go to an altar call. Listen, because he wants to put tools in your hands so you grow up in God and you're not dependent upon an environment. And so God, listen, this is so important for our generation because we are so experiential and we want God to do something right now. We want, come on, give me. Come on, do something right now. And God's going, listen, this is so, okay, let me just break it down for you like this. There are two types of people in the world. There are very, very cute pregnant women and there are us. Come on, there are adorable little basketball women, and then there are us. Can anybody just wave at me? Who are the us in the room, right? So I remember the first time I got pregnant, the only reason I knew I was pregnant is because my face told me. Is anybody like that? Like my face I was like, I'm pregnant. My face told me. You know, it was like, ba-bam, like right there. And when I got pregnant with Ben, I thought it would be really glamorous. You know, they have these beautiful pictures of pregnant women, and don't worry, I know I'm a girl preaching. Like, is this gonna be a girl thing? It's okay, calm down. And that's how you got here. It's okay. That's how you got here. It's all right. And so I remember when I first got pregnant, I gained, I think 40, I don't know, probably 40 pounds, maybe 50. Well, who's counting? And the bigger I got, the months that went on, the more pillows we added to the bed. Every month we added a pillow, and I finally went out and bought this pillow. It was a body pillow. We named him Philippe. Philippe came into bed with us, and so I got to the point where I had such bad heartburn. Does anybody have really bad heartburn? I would go to Costco and I would buy the family size heartburn medicine. It's the Zantac, you know, the 150 pills. I'd pop 2 of them. You're only supposed to have 1. I would pop 2 of them. I would walk to my fridge in my muumuu. If you don't know what a muumuu is, it's a piece of clothing that has no elastic. That's the goal, no elastic on your body. My hair was pulled back, and I would walk to my fridge. I would pop my pills, and I would walk to my fridge, and I had my Mylanta in the fridge because you have to have cold Mylanta. You can't have warm Mylanta. Does anybody have Mylanta? You know what I'm talking about. It's got to be cold. And I would walk with my big belly, my beautiful, beautiful belly. Don't laugh. And I would walk, and I would take my swig of Mylanta, and I would get into bed with my 7 pillows and Philippe. And I would have 3, 2, 3, and pretty soon there was a point in my 8 months of pregnancy, Ben decided to have a talk with me. You know, as every husband does. You know, he had been thinking about it and wined and dined me that night with pot pies and pizza and because there was a point when I would actually call in pot pies to Claim Jumpers and I would make him go in and get it. And so anyway, he said to me, you know, I've been thinking about it, and I'm just curious. Do I need to be in the bed with you, or do you think I could sleep in the guest room because it doesn't really feel like I can fit? You can't say that to a pregnant woman. I said, there is room for all of us. Because we were all there in the beginning. We're all going to be there at the end. You, me, and Philippe. We're going to do this together. Ben was very gracious. So we ended up having a child, and so it was not glamorous. It wasn't glamorous. My pregnancy was not glamorous. Did I say that? And it got to a point where when I got pregnant, every time we would hug, I would get pregnant. We had 4 babies in 5 years. So you can imagine hugs, kisses, jacuzzis. And so anyway, we ended up getting pregnant, and there was a point where we just realized that we had this amount of time that we were going to have to power through. Actually, he was going to have to power through more than me, but this was what it was going to look like. Like, we were going to have to do this. I was not going to be the glamorous basketball mama. I was going to be the muumuu-wearing, my Lanta-swigging, 7-pillow girl in the bed waiting for you at night to turn the TV on. That was me, and that was okay, you know? But there was a point where we realized, listen, when I had our sons, they were mine for a little bit. When we held our first boys, Judah and Hudson, Grayson and Beckham, there was such a moment of pure joy. I mean, there was something that I felt when I held our boys. I felt like nothing compared to the whole world. Everything was a tinge of, could there be any disappointment? Not with a child. It was so beautiful. When we held our sons, I mean, the whole world stopped. And it was like, this baby is mine, and I don't care whatever the world is doing. I don't care if there is a World War III like, this is my child. I will catch up with you tomorrow. This is my baby. I have worked so hard for you to get here, and it was well worth it. Because history told me that we were going to get through it. And see, this is the promise of James chapter 1. Listen. This is the promise this is the glory of building a history in God. This is why you walking out every time you get mad and have a hard time and walk through pain and wish somebody would pray you through it, and every time you hope somebody would drag you to church and walk you, well, come back, it's worth it, come on. No. Every time you stick it out and say, I'm gonna build a history here with you, God. I'm gonna walk through with you. Tell me what your truth is. Tell me what your promise is. I'm not leaving. I'm gonna dig my heels in. I'm gonna take another swig of my Lanta. I'm gonna buy a bigger muumuu because I'm having this baby. Listen, there's something about, listen, this is leadership. This is how your faith gets sure. This is how you build a marriage. This is how you build a ministry. This is how you build character, is because you say, I am not leaving this place. I am building an altar before the Lord in who God has called me to be. And this is how you deal with pain and disappointment. You know how? You don't run. I love you. But if you have not experienced pain and disappointment, stick around.